phenomenal, the one and only Vanessa Wilkins from Tahirih Justice Center here in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, Vanessa, so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Of course. And I wanted to let everybody know that you have a couple of accolades that I want to share, because I know you're going to be talking about who you are and what Tahirih stands for and how it's doing incredible things here in Atlanta. So Vanessa has chaired the Development Committee on the board of the Georgia Coalition Against Domestic Violence. She's received a Pinnacle Leadership Award in 2017 for outstanding community leadership and was recognized with a Phenomenal Woman Award in 2021 for her 17 years of service to the community, 18 years in the nonprofit world. Yes. Congratulations. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So let's talk about you. What's going on with Tahirih? Let us know.
Sure.
What is Tahirih?
So Tahirih Justice Center, we are a nonprofit here in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes. So as a nonprofit, our main thing is that we provide legal and social services to immigrant survivors of gender-based violence. And so mainly we represent immigrant women and girls who we believe have a legitimate claim to legal status under U.S. immigration law and as survivors of gender-based violence.
So within the gender-based violence, do you have cases where they've experienced domestic violence or partner abuse?
Oh yes, definitely. I would say the majority of the clients who come to us and the survivors are survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault as well. Gender-based violence encompasses not only domestic and sexual assault, it also encompasses female genital mutilation or cutting, stalking, you know, any type of violence, human trafficking.
I was just thinking about
exactly. So any type of violence that's gender related.
Okay. Did it start here in Atlanta?
No. Atlanta is our newest office. We are a national nonprofit, so we have 5 offices across the U.S. We have offices in the San Francisco Bay Area, in D.C., in Baltimore, and Houston, Texas. We are the newest. We've been here for 6 years.
I guess my next question is, why Atlanta? Why did Tahirih choose this location?
Well, Tahirih chose this location because of the asylum rates that we were finding here were so low. People who were trying to get asylum, survivors, you know, they were getting denied at a rate that was much higher than the national average. Basically, it was between 2 and 5% of approvals for people who are, yes.
So Atlanta was a much needed place for your services. Yes. What have been the benefits for immigrant survivors with you? Like how can they find out about you? Are you reaching out to other organizations? I just want to let the survivors know that they can go to you, and usually they wouldn't be like typing in Tahirih.
No.
So they might type in like the Georgia hotline, for example, or the national hotline. Are you a part of that database?
They could. We are a part of the Georgia Coalition Against Domestic Violence database.
Great.
Under the immigration services, so they could find us that way.
Okay.
A lot of times the people who come to us, the survivors, come to us by word of mouth. So we're really trying to be out in the community more, at different events, at churches, places of worship, and just be where the people are who need us, so that they can hear about us and access our free services.
That's amazing. So for the most part, the service is legal services, right?
Yes.
Because that's very challenging and it could be very expensive for a victim of violence.
Yes. Legal services can be very expensive. And so as a nonprofit, we provide all of the services for free, but they have to be specifically for someone who has experienced some form of gender-based violence. And so that's the only caveat to that. We don't provide just broad immigration legal services to anyone who needs it. They have to be a survivor of gender-based violence.
Got it. Okay. And do you have multilingual staff?
Yes.
Yay!
So,
hooray!
Yes. So the majority of our staff speaks Spanish.
Okay.
So if there's a language or a dialect that other than Spanish, we have a language line that we utilize right away. So when you call and you say, hey, you start speaking, we ask what language, and we get someone on the line to be able to help translate right away.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And timeline, what does this look like? Like realistically, is it a case-by-case basis depending on the severity of the situation when it comes to services? So what would they expect when they would seek services? Is it right away or?
Yeah, so what they would do is they would call our line.
Okay.
And they would talk to someone who would get their main information, their name, what's happened to them, what are they in need of, because every need is different for everyone. And then we would look at whether it fits within the service model that we have and it meets our mission so that we can make sure we can help them.
Okay.
And once we've determined that we can help them, then it's passed on to our attorney. And our attorney reviews it, gives them a call, and then we go from there. We don't take every case that comes to us. Not everyone is a fit for our services, but if they don't meet our requirements for service, then we will refer them to someone in the community that we know can help.
That's great.
So we'll do a warm referral versus giving a phone number.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you don't want to leave them out in the cold.
No, no.
Yeah, so wonderful. So I want to ask you, what made you get into nonprofit?
Well, that was not my plan to begin with. I'm a survivor of domestic violence myself, and so that's just the path that I've been led on. Prior to working with Tahirih Justice Center, I oversaw a nonprofit, a domestic violence shelter program for 17 years.
Wow.
Where we did a lot of prevention work in the community with different programs, including teen dating violence prevention, and then intervention methods as well. We had a domestic violence safe house, and we did a lot of legal advocacy in the courthouse, helping people get family violence protective orders.
Great.